Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Lasham Daily Briefing for Monday, the 4th of November, 2024. We'll start with the synoptic. This is looking at lunchtime yesterday, and we can see this high pressure over Europe is sort of dominating the feature, or the dominating weather feature right across the country. And that brought us lots of low cloud yesterday, with a bit of drizzle, and basically stopped us from flying, really. The visibility was also quite poor, but let's move it on through midnight last night and into lunchtime today. And you can see that high has moved a little bit further away. We've got still, I think, a bit of an easterly airflow across the country, but there's no frontal systems nearby. I think that low cloud is starting to thin out a little bit, looking out the window there. And I think we'll see from the forecast later on that we may get a few breaks and the cloud base might go up a bit today, which should be good for us. If I run that through midnight tonight and into lunchtime tomorrow, you can see what's starting to come our way. And if I go look just a little bit further, you can see that the high is just holding those frontal systems out in the Atlantic off until at least Wednesday lunchtime. So the sat pic is starting to show breaks in the cloud, which I say is could be quite good for us. Could get a bit of sun on the ground. That'll help the cloud base go up a little bit, bring up the temperatures. So I'm sure we'll get something out of today. The rain radar showing virtually nothing, certainly within a couple of hundred miles of us. And if we run the rain forecast through, there is something down towards the sort of southwest counties, around about the Exeter area. And it's nothing really going to affect us today in terms of rain, I don't think. Odium's forecast then, their TAF is saying 080 degrees of 5 knots, greater than 10k visibility, and overcast at 1500 feet. And then temporarily between now and 9 o'clock tonight, local, overcast at 1400 feet with a 30% chance it's in the afternoon between about 2 o'clock and 9 o'clock in the evening with few clouds at 1700 feet. Farnborough are showing an easterly wind, 090 at 6 knots, greater than 10k visibility with clouds broken at 1600 feet, and then a 30% chance that between now and 3 o'clock in the afternoon with it broken at 1400 feet. Spot winds then, the 1000-foot wind to the north of us, 1305 knots, and to the south of us, 110, 10 knots. Windy is showing around about lunchtime today, 6 knots from the east, and it's pretty much going to be like that all day, I think. Looking at the local forecast, they're showing 5 to 6 knots throughout the day with an easterly trend to the wind. They're also showing it's going to be overcast throughout the whole day with very, very low chance of any precipitation. Temperatures about 11 degrees centigrade at max, and the humidity around about 85% throughout the day. GFS are showing about 12 degrees centigrade at lunchtime today, and the dew point is around about 8 centigrade, so a 4-degree split there. Currently, the weather data has not been updated yet. I'll just give that one last refresh to see if it has. Not quite yet. However, we do have a recent shot out the window. That's today's date. It's about 5 to 9 this morning, and that's showing that we have got 8/8 a strata Q. But it looks like the cloud base has gone up a bit, and it's very light easterly winds there. SkySight are being a little bit optimistic today, I think. They reckon the cloud base will get up to about 2,000 feet by the end of the afternoon. But bear in mind that is above sea level. So, we could be winch launching all day long by the looks of that. And if we have a look at Top Meteo, they're actually showing cloud base down at about 1,000 feet or below at the moment. But if you run it through hour on hour, it quite rapidly breaks up. And we may get higher cloud bases or maybe even a bit of sunshine getting through to the ground, according to Top Meteo. No times today then. There's just two local ones. Bart and Stacey live firing, and 13 there is Thursday. They're firing flares for about the next week and a half. All day long, they're no TAMs, so I doubt we'll be going out that far, but that's the no TAMs for you. Let's move on to the airfield briefing then, and start with the ODM cross section. As you can see, the glide base here is showing somewhere around about 1,500 feet, which seems a bit low given that they're 100 feet lower than us. You can see we're up on the top of the hill here. But looking out the window, it looks like we might be seeing something a little bit better than that. And if it remains like that all day, well, it's going to be overcast. But what they do have here is a 30% chance that it'll be breaking up into few strata-Q, which means we should see some sun on the ground in the afternoon. Surface winds then easterly in the main part of the day, sort of 5 to 6 knots, and no significant weather. The booking list is quite sparse today. We've got a couple of people booked in, so we'll just get out the aircraft that we need. We won't get everything out today, and we'll see how the day goes. So effectively, we've got one K21 for instructional flyings, two K21s booked for club members. We should be able to share, I think, between the people that have got those booked. There's a K21 on the casual list. We may or may not need that. K13 on trial lessons. I've not made up my mind on trial lessons yet. I want to actually find out what the cloud base is, and then we'll make a decision there. And there's also a couple of K13s available. All the single seaters there, SH2, 3, 6, and 8, have got availability, and there's nobody on the casual list today. Simulator is available. And then moving on to movements, we've got quite a few movements today. It's going to be a busy day out there. The first one is an arrival at scheduled for 09:30. It's an A320 coming in, so I'm going to suggest that we don't rush out onto the airfield just yet. We'll let that arrive, and then we'll go out and fly. There's a PA31 departing around about 11 o'clock. Shouldn't be an issue. But can we park everything to the south? Sorry, correction, to the north side of the centre line today. And when the PA31 comes out, we'll allow them to taxi down the south side, and we'll just make room for them there with the K21s. 12:08, there's another arrival, and at 12:30, I envisage that we'll be off the runway for that whole period whilst the arrival and departure take place. And then again at 2 o'clock this afternoon, there's another departure going out. So a busy day. Let's pay attention to what's going out there, and let's keep the launch point neat and tidy, because we will be on and off the runway on a sort of regular basis today. So the general situation today is high pressure over southern England. There's a light easterly winds, low cloud all day, possibly breaking up in the afternoon. We'll set up on runway 09, tow the cables out on the boom to the south side. Gliders will be on the hard. We'll be landing gliders on the grass. It is wet and a little bit soft in places, but it has been drying out for the last week, and there shouldn't be an issue. But still, please do not use wheel brakes unless it's absolutely necessary. Again, we're still in the high pressure, low winds. Misting canopies are an issue in this kind of weather. Just keep an eye on them. And a reminder about buggies and CC passengers only. We're not insured for anyone on the flatbed at the rear. And please do not land or taxi on the disused runways, which are shown here in red. So here's our setup today. Launch point vehicle will be just to the north of the centre line. We'll air tow from the north side, and we'll winch launch from the south side. But because there's more room on the south side with the launch point vehicle parked there, when that light twin comes out, we'll allow them to come down the south side. We'll just move our gliders out of the way for 5 minutes. It takes them to do that. So that's it from me today. Have a good day's flying. Enjoy yourself. Please keep it safe, and I shall see you out there shortly. Thanks a lot.